What's next for Shanna Gardner Fernandez, the ex-wife of Microsoft executive Jared Bridegan? She's behind bars, faces murder charges in the first degree for conspiracy to kill her ex-husband, and the death penalty is very much on the table. The allegations are pretty damning. The hitman that went and performed the task pointed, said, "Yeah, it's those two over there, the Mario and his wife." And yeah, got a plea deal out of that. I don't know. It seems very open and shut, but if there's one person that can find a way to make someone look innocent who is very guilty, I would say it's certainly Jose Baez, and he is now been hired. Shanna Gardner's family, they got a little bit of money, so they spent it on a very good attorney. Neama Rahmani, former federal prosecutor, head of the West Coast Trial Lawyers Association. Yeah, obviously very well respected, very good attorney. Uh, Also, kind of feels like you're really guilty if you're hiring Jose Baez at the same time. It's like, let's watch the magic show. What are your thoughts on this move?
Yeah, Baez obviously, is connected to probably what some folks think is one of the greatest misjustices in American history.
Mhm.
Casey Anthony really stirs up a lot of emotions. I mean, he popped up recently, I think a year ago, in a case in Ohio where a doctor was accused of, euthanizing and killing a lot of patients, and I
Mhm.
think he prevailed there as well. So, very good lawyer. Certainly one that can pull a rabbit out of a hat. And again, we're not talking about hanging a jury; we're talking about acquittal.
Yeah.
So, really, kind of home run result for a defense lawyer, any defense lawyer, especially in a murder case. But look, there's a lot of evidence here, Tony. You got a cooperator, right? You got a cooperator with connection, like you said, to Mario. I think it was a tenant in one of his buildings. You have a clear motive. You have this trap, this really elaborate trap that was set up. You have communications between, let's say the hitman, the murder for hire case. So I think it's a strong case for the prosecution, but you never want to count Jose Baez out. So the fact that he's here likely means for us, in this case, is going to go to trial. We're not going to get a plea offer or any type of deal here. So let's strap in and watch this one. It's going to be an interesting
One
case.
of the first things that came to my mind on this was, well, an easy defense would be if Shanna flipped on Mario or Mario flipped on Shanna. One of them could easily do it, I would think, and say, "Look, the other person had did all this. I had nothing to do with it." But they're both being tried together now as they go forward, so that really doesn't work. What kind of rabbit do you think Jose Baez is going to be able to pull out of this hat? Obviously, he had the choice to say, "Yeah, I will represent you," before going into this case. So I'm imagining he's got some angle up his sleeve.
He's got to do it. He's either got to say, "Listen, my client had nothing to do with this, and this was all, Mario and the hitman." It's gonna be a lot tougher, right? Because of the evidence we have nowadays,
Yeah.
right? I mean, cell phone communications have really come a long way. Again, I'm going back to, Casey Anthony, but I remember in that case, it was sort of the infancy of internet search history, right? And, was it Casey or was it her mother, and who was searching for all this information, and, what hours? But now with your phone, we know exactly whose phone is searching for what. Everyone has a profile, everyone's logged in. And usually in these types of cases, I really sort of see a united front. I rarely see a case going to trial where one defendant is going to just completely flip and roll on the other. Because frankly, if they were, they would have approached the prosecution before that, worked out some sort of deal. They don't spring this on him at trial because really doesn't help him a whole lot there. So what I fully expect to see is a united front, both defendants pointing the finger at the hitman and saying, "Listen, we had nothing to do with this." But really, they're gonna have some sort of story. Why would someone do this? That really, and again, it's an elaborate trap, right? That had really no reason to want to kill someone.
Maybe they can do some Odinism arguments, or maybe Alec Murdaugh hired them, or we can tie into something else because why not at this point? I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm confident it will be a trial to watch. It'll be like a master class at its finest while it's going on.
Yeah, it will be. And never underestimate these defense lawyers and creativity, whether it's Odinism or, in Casey Anthony's case, it was Casey's dad that sexually molested her and abused her. I mean, they're going to come up with some story because they have to, because jurors are going to want to say, "Listen, we need some sort of alternate explanation for all this." So it's going to
Yeah,
be interesting to see what they come up with.
yeah, without a doubt. Hey, it's Tony Brueski. If you want more of our interview with our guests, be sure to check out our podcast, Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski. Just search that wherever you download podcasts and press subscribe. Also, you can check out our YouTube channel for the full video version of the interviews as well, under the same name, Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski. Check it out, subscribe, binge, and enjoy. Thanks for watching.